Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. Do I have a story for you? I'm so grateful for you being here and for everyone who checked in with me while I've been gone for the last few weeks. So, a lot has changed. I'm going to do a quick catch up and then get to the heart of today's video, which I'm so excited to talk to you about. The heart of today's video is showing up how you actually want to show up instead of what's expected, what people think you should be doing, or anything like that. Okay. Using a real life example from my own life that I just did yesterday. Okay, so catching you up. So I disappeared for about 3 weeks because my wife was just diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder, and I needed to push pause on showing up somewhere so that I could repurpose that energy to the learning curve of us implementing an entirely, completely different way of life. It meant pulling back from my business a little bit, pulling back from community. I even removed myself from a whole bunch of Facebook groups and the coaching container that I paid to be in back in November. I paid in full for it, like no small fee. It was about $11,000 Canadian. And I paid in full for that. And I pulled myself out for 6 weeks because, as my autistic self, my internal perceived pressure to show up in those spaces was at odds with what I knew needed to happen, which was to kind of embody my human design and my hyper focus and put all of my research skills into supporting my wife's recovery and her illness. So I gutted our pantry. I changed a whole bunch of our products to be more supportive for her immune system. I totally, completely revamped um, my garden plan. I had to order seeds. I had to get food growing. We've got a bunch of plants going now, so that's really good. Someone put together a GoFundMe, so I've been putting updates into that to help cover the costs of Liv's lifestyle changes. We had to replace all of the food, and we're on like a limited income. I wouldn't say that it's like we're not poor. Like, we've got a home that we own and we have access to food even if we don't have money, because of there's a lot of abundance here on the land. And there's a food bank that gives out food like 6 days a week. So none of that would be a problem. However, Liv needs to eat very specific foods. So we had to go in, um, and thanks so much to like our supportive community. I'm blown away when my client reached out and community member reached out and was like, "Hey, can I start a GoFundMe for you two?" I was like, sure. Like, I if you want to, like, I don't know, I don't know what to say, kind of thing. Like, I'm not going to say no to offers of help and support because I truly have learned and now believe that when we ask the universe to show up for us, if we limit it, it will obey us. So if you believe that the only way for you to have abundance is through working really, really hard, then that's going to be true. And I believe that when I am living in my purpose to the best of my ability, then I will be provided for. And just like my ability fluctuates, so does how the provision arrives. So when I'm doing really well and my capacity is even and I'm getting the right sleep and the right nutrition and the stress is managed and all of these various things that inform my ability to be in a low support needs instead of medium or high support needs as an autistic, when everything's going really well, um, a lot of people might not even notice that I'm autistic, including me in some ways. Those who understand that will completely understand that. So I'm not going to explain myself too much. But when I'm in change, when I'm concerned about my loved one, when things are not going as well as they could be, and I'm under resourced and overwhelmed, I become so disabled by my condition that I'll stay in bed for weeks and hours every day. And I will withdraw from every space. I won't eat properly. I'll lose my ability to do hygiene. Noises will start to startle me a lot. Like it gets really bad. I get so overwhelmed and burnt out and exhausted from functioning way up here that I regress to someone who looks like they're recovering from really bad COVID. Like it's bad. Fever, bone aches, digestive issues, all of it. It all starts to come into play. And so I knew that couldn't be an option because my wife is sick and I now am her caregiver. So I have to go take care of her, which means I have to take care of me. So I took a pause. And while I was taking that pause, that brings me to today's video. After a year of negotiating with myself about how people would perceive me in real life, online, whether or not I'd be taken seriously, whether or not my appearance would turn clients away, make me seem less professional, less like I've got my stuff together. Um, it was a big part of my mask. I shaved all of my hair off. I shaved it all the way off. You'll remember just a few videos ago, my hair was down to here in frame and curly and full of volume. And people remark on it all the time how much they love my hair and how beautiful it is and how effortless it is. And they wish they had hair like mine. And it causes me to feel like I should protect this, even though it caused me way too much sensory overwhelm. I have a scalp skin condition and a scalp condition, and it would cause horrible, painful sores from too much oil on my scalp, even if I took really good care, even if I washed my hair regularly or not. I still had that problem. And the only thing that's ever brought me relief is having really short hair because it provides a lot more airflow into my scalp and everything is just nicer. I have such thick, dense hair that my scalp couldn't breathe and it was getting sick. And instead of listening to the signals that my body was sending me, I was worried more about other people's opinions and aesthetics. That's reason number one. I shaved all my hair off. Reason number two, it kept me up at night. It was either itching my neck, touching my face, getting in my eyes or my mouth, or I had to wear it up or in braids, but I couldn't physically sleep comfortably like that. And I wasn't sleeping. I was tossing and turning. Sometimes I was getting up at night, and the amount of times where I just envisioned myself grabbing scissors and cutting it and shaving it off was a lot of times. It became hard for me to show up online because I felt like I needed to have my hair done, but I didn't want to because the experience of a shower or a bath for me as an autistic person, with the changes, the temperature changes, being wet and cold, as soon as you leave a nice warm space, the way that my brain filters touch, I can feel every single drop of water on my body as it hits me, and it's like it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm also a bigger bodied person, so even though we've got a deep tub, my whole body doesn't fit in it. So if I have a bath instead, because it's easier, and then I also have to wash my hair, I would avoid it. And when I avoided it, I didn't like how I felt, and I felt shame, and I didn't want to be perceived in feeling that shame. So I shaved all my hair off. Another reason is when my hair is long, I look like my mother. And even though I have done so much work and am doing work to heal from what I went through being her child, even with all the good that was there, there's so much harm that seeing my most common abuser, the most common thread in all of my painful memories, the person I spend the most time talking about in therapy, most time journaling about, most time healing wounds about, to be staring that person in the face every time I looked in the mirror, that was too much. I started dreaming about her. So I shaved all my hair off. And talking to you now, I'm finally starting to feel the emotion of what happened yesterday because, hi, I'm autistic and delayed processing is a thing. I feel so much lighter. I feel so much like myself. Like if you go back and watch the other videos, I wasn't pretending, but I was masking. And right now, I'm not. I needed to let go of the made up rules I was using to keep myself small, to keep myself safe, and to keep myself hidden. It's another layer. It really truly is. And not a layer in terms of an onion, more like a pastry, right? If you've ever actually watched how puff pastry is made with layers of dough and fat, if it's traditional puff pastry, butter, but layers of dough and the fat folded in, marbled over hours and hours and hours of kneading and resting and folding and kneading and resting and folding. That's what unmasking is like. I'm sure there's some other part of me that I'm still not fully accepting that is keeping me stuck. And when I'm ready to do that work, it will become uncomfortable and be in my face, pun intended, for probably 6 months to a year, like it was this time, because I had to sit with it. I had to sit with the shadow and ask whether it was something to be integrated or something to let go of. Because now when I look in the mirror, I see me, I see myself, I see courage, I see authenticity, and I don't see shame and I don't see pain. And I did yesterday with that long hair. I remember when Liv and I got back, like just before Liv and I got back from Las Vegas, we're leaving Allison's house. We're leaving Allison Bird's house. And um she was like adjusting something for me. I can't remember whether it was like a tag or something, but she was like, "Didn't you look in the mirror?" And I was like, "Oh no, I never even think about looking in the mirror because we don't even have one at home." And she's like, "You don't have a mirror in your house?" And I'm like, not except for the little tiny one above the bathroom. No, but there's no like full length mirror in her house. And she told me to go and buy one because there's nothing to be hiding away from myself. And I didn't understand it. I didn't understand what she meant. I'm like, but I'm not hiding anything. Like I have like 8 like windows. I'm all over the internet. Like I'm not hiding anything. I look at myself all day. And it's like, no, no, you don't. Um, and so I only just realized as I was unpacking this with all of you, that mirror made me have to see myself right after I got up out of bed every morning. And it really did awaken an even deeper layer of authenticity and self-love. So now I can actually have a 10-minute shower. Now all my hats fit, and I have an excellent hat collection. Now I feel more like myself, and now I even look more like my wedding photos because my hair was quite short. So, if there's something that you've been avoiding doing for yourself that might be sensory related, might be appearance related, maybe you want to switch your wardrobe. Maybe you never want to wear a pair of blue jeans again. Maybe you want to start using earplugs or headphones. Maybe you want to cut your hair. Maybe you want to dye your hair a color that's not found directly in nature. Maybe you wanted to get a tattoo. Maybe you want to change your name. Maybe you want to come out to somebody. Maybe you're ready to publicly talk about your autism. Maybe you're ready to ask for accommodations at work. Whatever the thing is, whatever it is that you're ready for, I believe in you. Take it at your own pace. It took me 18 months to shave my hair off after it very first started irritating me. I thought I would be able to feel better when it got longer. I'm like, oh, it's just because like I was gaslighting myself the whole time. It's just because it's tickling my ears. Once it gets past my ears, it won't bother me. Oh, now it's tickling my neck. Once it gets past my neck, it won't bother me. Oh, now it's tickling my back and blowing in my face. Okay, so I'm going to put it up. Well, now it's giving me a headache and I don't like the feel of the scrunchie. There was always an excuse. If it gets long enough, then maybe I can style it in just such a way that I won't be thinking about it all of the time. But I could have just shaved it off because when I had the shortest hair, I had the most time, and I can't believe it took me this long to put two and two together. So I don't know how often I'll be on here right now with everything that's going on in our lives. We are keeping people updated on social media. So if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, then I'll be sharing more there. In the meantime, I have loads of free and low cost offers available. I just relaunched the website, so you can check that out. And I do have some exciting things coming in the fall, but like right now, I'll be here when I can be here and just trust that you'll be around waiting. Bye for now.